partner and talk serious business with a serious man who takes his work very, very serious. And he does it very, very well. My very buddy, friend, Britton is here. And today we're going to talk about bloggers. We are invading the space of managers. Artist management. You might give us your ear and let's get into it. Adjoa, you looking fantastic.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
One Pamatadi share.
Big shout out to my guy called my teller.
Hey, God, my Pamatadi and I'm Babiee.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, man. And good morning to you and of course your viewers.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be on MaxMorning.
The last time you were here, like it's like
yes, sir. I felt like some kind of reunion with the squad. It was beautiful. I mean, it's nice to see all the great people in this building, man.
Thank you. We did better from pa.
Oh
yeah, right. Some can say
no, yes,
but how is it like? Say how does it look like?
I don't want it to be twisted. Naturally we are Rastamen, so Uja. 2-3 days almost at twisted. I mean, like 2-3 times a day.
It would be nice if you twist that man, like maybe we make your hand.
And that's any romantic, my sisters.
Anyway, it's great. It's great to have George back in the studios, and I love your shoes. And
oh yeah.
And George has specky pa no that's say no specky pa ba be kasaba church say serious business. When you dress for occasion, they say oh free as or baby. Or kwakoje. Unya maybe I'll be kwakoje me so free go baby.
Hi Max, I need to look special for the viewers.
Thank you for the blue. The last time we spoke about bloggers and you can bloggers won't send be you can about bloggers sabamu you can the difference between journalists and the bloggers and woman now woman content make I in Simbi. Last time, no, so you didn't come on your car. Said journalists if one of their facts or Marco school, they go into to get the facts and come out. What and so said bloggers, no. Yes, if you're more kind of credit, one kind of credit is their opinion. An opinion is like gnosis, so will be. So yes, they have the numbers, they express themselves and then allow others to also express themselves. Now, so Abemu say bloggers say nya ahwodempa. Umenya jina power social media so and even in our space industry you women sisi no obi biara pe information they go to these bloggers no wo page so na omo akwakope information nti ama aye very delicate say what's a bloggers and so etimi make sure say information na opinion krona wo mo give it out no ama public no it's well thought of. And I can't say regulated because then there's nobody as such, but I think says in the pipeline I hear. But Omwankasa as individuals, and as an individual, it's most okay, I'm a blogger and I feed the public with information, so I have to be very cautious of what I feed to them. But obi can ask them say, me and I'm a page, me I'm posting am pe. Then force will be someone ramameshe, obano bashano kano pa, and you're saying that here. Now they are making monies out of this place. Untimi enyi obi info. Now bloggers no do na so abedane bi abeye artist managers and road managers, publicists, adwuma mu abie I think we'll just touch on a little bit of bloggers what whether they are obliged as to what they write. Whether say there are certain apps if you go beyond that they know your page. It's me you page in the free so. And yes, are they somehow obliged? And I say intuition any panankasa on one individual nankasa no the choice or the character or something that actually determines what he or she posts. No GD, ne beliefs, the word sifate. And that's why you're obliged to do something.
Yeah, so I think with the blogger, said that last time I mean, your opinion, and say, when I look at writing, I should know how you are, how you think.
Okay.
So, and see, I mean, most of us, when we started, like I said the other day, with me especially, I just was a music blogger. I was just talking about music, musicians, everything music. I wasn't concerned about what was happening in the movie industry, neither the fashion or anything else. I was just music. So that was how come, it got to a time, Philly said, I had to, there should be some sort of transition from just, following these guys, writing about them, taking pictures of them, and also getting into their world. Because I think it's easier to criticize from afar than to get involved. And in 2008, I took that decision to be to join an artist, which was Nilante, Dr. Nilante.
Yes.
So in 2008, I think we met at Zamali studio, and the Uncle Zap introduced me to Nilante, and I thought it was a very beautiful relationship. When I was with Ni, I wasn't so experienced, but I think after a year or two, we were able to win a couple of awards at Ghana Music Awards. From there, I decided to move on to another artist who was pretty young, younger than Nilante. That was Ako Nana. So with Ako Nana, he came with all this Mugu, Wash and Wear, and all these songs.
Then you on to Keche as well.
Then I moved on to Keche, diabetes and everything else. But the reason why I got into this space, and they said, me person me who said, okay, these people, what is their feeling like? What did they really go through? We as media people, they always sit back and write about, so he didn't do this right, and it's easier to say these things from afar.
When you get into
but when
space.
you get into the space, how they think, how their finances and all these things, you will understand them, from within.
Now let's come to your story in the middle. You are coming from a music background where you were writing about music, you were into the music. So it was somehow the person money yes softy kakra say blending into the musicians was a bit easy.
I remember
because and I will follow music, who travel music, you're taking pictures of them. So somehow ebia wunnim adwuma ni mu ankasa at the time.
Yes.
But then you knew the music and say way more obeya de way or some trend way always say. Now bloggers how do they transition from a mere writer, into a road manager? How does that happen? Did you your time did you confront, like you said, Zap introduced you to Nilante? The others, what happened? How did you get to work with them?
Okay, so they see. With Zap, Nilante relationship, because I made sure about music, so most of these guys knew me. And it was easier for me to, and then again, because, aside the artists knowing me, there were some DJs and industry people who knew me. So I thought it would be easier for me to, especially do promotion, because before I got in, I didn't have the in-depth of, management. So what I did is, okay, be releasing your man. We look at this kind of music it does and, his targets, and the DJs who plays his targets. So I quite remember the likes of, Dorinando and all this, because the kind of music I need, So, I got familiar with them with time. I come to you, I come to you and do this. But then again, with my other colleagues, I think some of them is because when they write too, and they are familiar with the industry, most of the artists equally feels that, this person is popular, let me work with him. This person is popular, let me work with that. And that is how come most people to also go involved, what you said. But not everybody, of course, not everybody has a music background. But I think so when you get into the space, you learn. It's always good to learn on the field. Especially.
As you came from the music background, now coming into the artist management, I, for one, got into artist management because I wanted to speak. Sometimes, you see, creatives, do baby their emotions, cloud up everything. And I got in there as PR from the beginning.
Yes.
Because I wanted to speak for artists. Some artists just knows how to do their music and they don't want to talk about anything else. They don't want to, do other things. They just want, if you give them the chance, they will say what they are not even supposed to say. And that was what I'm like, you shouldn't say this. You shouldn't say, let me go say it for you. Let me find how we can communicate properly. That is how it is. But like you were saying, you found a way. Nilante, it wasn't about who was the hottest DJ at the time, but it was about who plays my artist kind of music.
Yes.
And that was like you created a niche market.
That is the first I am hearing, an artist manager actually, sitting to structure that kind of thing. Say, hey, it's not about who is making the noise, but it's about who plays my artist kind of music. And I want that audience first.
Oh, yeah.
You see, how? Do you? What was the plan? The structure?
Okay, good. So I mean, first and foremost, I think what actually helped was one was where I was coming from. You know, Mr. Mensah from GhanaMusic.com trained us, and it really made us read wide. You know, when we were GhanaMusic.com. So and then again, getting into the space. I know the kind of artist Nilante is. I mean, it's a matured head. It does, you know, jazzy, acoustic, reggae sort of music. And of course, his music it can be consumed by everybody, but not everybody would like to consume it. So therefore, it was easier. I mean, when you identify a niche market, it is easier to communicate and sell the product to them. And that is what we did from the beginning. And then again, we realized that, okay, so Ni has a very strong vocal ability. So let's drive on that. And that is what we actually used again to win the awards, because everybody who heard him was like, oh, wow, he's good. He has a voice, he has this, he has... Because then we were into the Tema and Zonto era, and he wasn't doing that. So, of course, you couldn't put a song out there just like everyone is doing, because there was a trend, and he wasn't part of the trend. So, I mean, after the dancing, you need to sit down and listen to music.
Exactly.
And he was the one giving. And there were some friends and DJs be that kind of soothing music, you know, a bit relaxed. So then we felt comfortable dealing with them.
Do you think, sir, bloggers are the best choice for an artist? Yes. As you see, loud, you know, Charlie, or try if you're a blogger with or followers in Tino, Charlie, me fanning bra me lemona, me. Is that the only thing? Because I can applaud you, like unlike me. You know, you get into the job, you learn more as the time goes on. You keep learning. But will everybody else do that? Do you think, say, it's just like getting somebody? Oh, when who did they? Oh, Alex, I say what jibe biya ukumasi de biya uye de ma menko fan brand number manage me. Is that really?
No, I don't think that is it. I mean, it's not about cloud chasing. It's about, you know, knowing. First of all, you need to agree and understand that being an artist manager is not about you. It's about you serving somebody. You know, it's basically about you putting your life aside to make sure that somebody looks good. And it's education. I don't struggle with my artists in terms of fame. We don't have arguments and I say I made you, you made me. No. You know, I know my role, I know what I'm doing.
There are instances where because we've all been in artist management before. I've managed artists. I did it basically because I had the plug. Yes. And then when I got in, I saw how difficult it was, even with the plug that you have. Don't you think we need some education before we get into that artist, you know, management, because it's very, very, it's not a joke.
I love education. I mean, I think so. Your basic knowledge should be about business or management. I mean, how's it called?
Relations.
Human relations. You know, you need to know that. And like I said, I mean, not everybody will say, oh, I'm going to this school to become that.
But it's necessary.
It's very necessary. That's how come you need to read wide. If you don't even go to school, you need to read wide, because artist management is about relationship management. You get me? Regardless of how the artist is, you have to create a very good relationship for artists, you know, for him to look good.
And e-commerce, even when it comes to like the business side of managing artists, like that is very deep.
That is key.
Broad.
Yeah, because you see, I mean, I will have to also position myself every day in a way that I look presentable, because then I represent, aside the business I do, I represent the artist. And if you want money, of course, to make the work sweeter, you need to present yourself and speak well. I mean, speak the language that the business people speak. So you could attract some funding from that side. And one might be popular, and you know, he has all the trends, all the clouds, and artists, most of them that say, I want you to be part of my management. And they say, most of the artists don't look at his ability or his capabilities. We often look at how popular the person is. When they post me, I'll get 1,000 or 2,000 likes and all that. But then again, you need to, such persons are not always in the mood to manage.
Okay.
Until he makes up his mind that, listen, whatever I'm doing, let me pause it and promote you. You get me? Because when it becomes like it's a competition, I mean, you are this and I'm also this, and yeah, because of me, you go to, I don't like that. That's how come you've realized that usually they get together and after a while they break up.
I've I say no crime. I even knew years back, I knew of an artist manager. Only artist piano now her artist no. You now who pay artist because hey, what shit. What shit just say what shall not share artist now who is the artist? Which one is the artist? Because the artist no ekomu no che egumu no eye 5 and ne dia 4. Well,
amazing.
Talking about looking good, presentable. Let's put it that way. Presentable. An artist manager should look a certain way, different from an artist himself. Artists, there was a time I was actually advising some of my artists that, you know what, we have to differentiate ourselves from the work. Okay, when we have to go play a show, let them see us as Yakobo show. Say Yakobi wedding so as guest that Mama who say Yakobi wedding. Because then when you go, your personality and you're a human being, an individual whom somebody has invited as a person, not as a musician. So we have to at least, it won't matter if George wears a beach shorts, he's still George. But you know what? He's at the beach, so he's in the beach shorts. But when he has a meeting and he wears that is George, he's going for a meeting. And I thought it was a good idea. Yes. But why is it that artists, most of them cannot, some artists have really done well. You can say they have really done well. I can speak about, I don't want to be a yimu bate meka. So could you say utimu say unim baby or konenia washe. So and I really love that when I see that. I really love that.
It's very true. When I make an say most people or most of the artists are also inclined, when it comes to these things. I mean, where am I going? Who am I meeting there? Because like I tell my people, every day you meet a new person in your life. Every blessed day you meet a new person. I mean, today someone is going to watch comedy for the first time, and he will either like him or dislike him. What he's going to say here, So you need to be conscious all the time that hey, I'm winning. Our job is about numbers. It's about winning more listeners and more souls. So how you present yourself is key. I tell them that listen, somebody might like you for your interview, it's not even your music. You get me? So how you present yourself to the public, how you approach issues and all these things. It's good to be part of the training stories, but then you need to be very careful that you don't also punch people too much.
Do you think a blogger is is quote unquote, I'm just asking a question. We know what bloggers do.
Yeah.
Do you think that they are best persons to manage an artist?
Well, then again, it's two things. I mean, you look at the blogger, look at where he's coming from, his background. I mean, his educational background, his aside the popularity, what else is he bringing you?
Okay.
If the only thing that brings you is popularity, then I think you'll be doomed because it will get to a time that you wouldn't need the popularity, you need strategies.
Coming from you, then your take, your opinion. What do you think an artist manager should be? What is he supposed to be?
Smart.
And do.
Smart. Should be smart. You should be chasing business. I mean, you should have connections in the business world. You should be a very good strategist. You should be out and out and hungry, and also be selfless. The word is selfless with regards to artist management. You need to be selfless. To put the career of another person in front, so that. I pride myself to say, I've managed artists A, B, C, and D with this awards and this. And what it does for me in the international front is that it gives me a certain level of, it gives me, there are times that when I sit in meetings and conferences, it gives me that energy to, comment or make certain commentary, let me put it that way. Because then over the years, we've been able to build.
Tell me one challenge you've had with an artist. Well, that is dominant. I mean, you've managed, I could say 3 crowd, meet me about 3. So buy back where just a challenge.
I think artists, so my one time here, how to deal with the very normal thing when they are on top. When they hit, when artists become a hit and they listen, they get angry. Yeah, they listen, they get angry. That's one of the things I've realized. Then again, it's egoistic. I mean, when you become
egos get stuck. What is that?
When the fame takes over, it makes it so difficult for the humble person to be still humble. You get me?
Right.
So that is when you need a very strong manager.
All right. I have Alexander Fifia back.
Okay.
A publicist, my only brother, Zada on the phone. Yo, bro, what's in then?
What's your movie announcement?
Hey, the man there.
Minyo Bibia, me catch the master, yeah, from.
I'm so happy, Papa. But then you were showing the and your friend Babiee and your friend George Wahade. And see, you're reading Komo. Anna, Komo, you know, you're deep because mammy, him there, I want a blogger and a CC, a developing one, a publicist. And I manage a lot of artists, you know, essentially a road manager. I mean, let's talk about Fantana, for example, Flyboy Jesus. That, you know, how are you managing this, folks?
So this is how it all came about. Way back in 2012, I was basically a blogger. So I got a chance to then time work with Stoneboy. So at that time, his manager, his name was Cartenga.
Oh, yes,
he literally just called me on board and he was like, okay, I want you to be writing. So that was when the learning process started. That was way back 2012. So basically, he would be on my neck literally, like, yo, you need to do this, you need to write this, you need to do this. So through that process, I'll be learning on the job.
Okay.
And he'll be teaching me a few stuff. So it is not just like something that just I woke up and all the I was there. It was a whole learning process all the way from 2012. I got to understand the rudiments of the job. There were even certain things I was even doing wrong as a blogger because I was literally criticizing people, like talking anyhow. That is how I was saying it. Like certain things I didn't know. I was just saying anything basa. I could just like disintegrate any artist without understanding the rudiments of the job, just saying anything because I was on the outside, I was seeing things on the outside. But when I finally got in and I got to know that, yo, the whole job is a whole different thing. So sometimes you need to season your words with salt. You get me? So just that you're on the outside, so you think you have an opinion. But when you really get inside, you really get to see the investment that goes on with
gritty, you know, yeah.
And all the stuff that comes along with it. You are very careful with your words. You know what to say. You know how to handle things. So it's a whole learning process. And that's how come I got the chance to.
All right, you were on the road with your friend and the late Ebony. Managing an art like that now, how was it? A success story and a very influential lady. How was it like?
So basically, one thing you should notice, the talent is one thing. The hunger for success is also another thing, and the readiness to work. If the artist is not ready to work, you have a whole headache. If the artist doesn't understand the job, you have another problem. If the artist doesn't know the terrain, where the artist is going to, the mission and the vision, like it's a whole lot. So when the person is not really psyched up for the job, there it becomes a problem. But getting with the late Ebony, it was like, yo, I've been on the low. I have not been able to hit my target, and I finally get to a place whereby the people are ready to work. Everybody in the team is ready to put in the effort. Let me also show that, yeah, I'm also there to work. And that is how come the success story was made possible. She was literally hungry for everything. Like, once she knows it's work, work is work. It's the same thing I go with Wendy Shea as well. Wendy Shea is always hungry for success. Like, yo, she doesn't joke with her job. That is how artists work.
All right.
If you meet such people, you'll be excited to get to work every day.
Okay. I mean, this question we name for and to form. How is it like you bloggers meeting together now? What are some of the things that you tell yourself and things that you want to really correct and make sure that you move this industry forward?
Currently, the biggest headache that we talk about is streaming. Currently, the biggest headache is streaming.
Okay.
Most of the songs that we give out, it was mostly free downloads and all that. But now the biggest conversation that we always have is always about trying to make sure we get the streams on the Apple Music, Spotify, Boomplay, Upsound, and all, and also on YouTube as well. That is the kind of conversation we have now. So we are always talking about the need to embed the streaming platform links on the website, not to give the songs out for free downloads and all. That is basically the conversation that we are having now, trying to push that agenda for everybody to understand that, if you want an artist or you want to really support an artist or a creative,
okay,
you need to stream. That is the conversation that we are having. And also with the music, with the movie industry as well, trying to stream their online content as well. That is what the conversation is all about.
All right, Zada. But I see the brain. Meaning maybe I miss you. And thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. I met you now. I say when you join, All right, okay. George,
yes, sir. I'm fancy.
It's what written now for say if hey,
I'm fancy. But I say the fancy lost more, so just
so you see.
But I speak fancy, when I make fancy, I speak fancy.
Okay. Us in there were friendly then. Some of the difficult way I move faces is streaming. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, it is so because it was initially I started here, it was more based on it was more based on people coming to the websites to stream music and download music and all that. But we always knew that there was times were changing.
Okay.
And we just had to adjust to time, and because musicians were going to get their eyes were going to open. There were going to be platforms for people to stream music so they get paid, because the cassette and CDs were fading out. So of course that's something new was also coming. But then again, as a blogger or as website owners, what we need to do is to keep our readers still on the websites, not just for music purposes, but as well as the content, the things that you share, the kind of education that you give. But it's sad that these days some of the content that we post has got nothing to do with education. Has got nothing to do with entertainment. Usually we as media people are supposed to entertain, educate, and what's the last word? Inform. And it looks like we are just doing a little bit of the entertainment side by just, sorry to say, some content that we put out is nasty. Sorry to say, and we don't inform anymore. We don't educate anymore. Most of us don't educate anymore. All we care about is let me put a certain lady on my page and get the likes. And now most people are even just on Instagram, they're not even bloggers. What they do is have a phone. They take pictures and post on Instagram and Facebook, and they call themselves bloggers.
And some even take other people's shots.
Yes,
and then put on their page.
Without crediting them.
Yes,
it's not right.
Yes, it is not right. Now, before we get off this conversation, what would you advise an artist who wants to go for a manager?
Of course, for you.
Who would you say? Yes, who would you say? So a manager, DNA, what's it looking out for?
First of all, I will look out for the hunger in the person. How.
So then, a person who
the hunger is always, the person should have that drive that he wants to move to the next level.
Okay.
That's what I look out for. The person wants to move to the next level, and I think you move to the next level if I tag along to help me. That is one thing. The second thing is look out for somebody who is smart. Not just anybody who's out there. Look out for somebody who's smart. So this is how it works. You see, as an artist manager, you should be always ahead of the artist, not in terms of fame, but in terms of thinking. Because you sit back and do all the strategies.
Thinking on your feet.
Yeah,
right,
because when it gets to the time when the artist becomes big and you are still where you used to be, that is when the issues come, because he feels he's bigger, he needs much bigger platforms, he needs much bigger connects, and you are still doing all you have to do is just go run and share CDs. And maybe when he's got into, he needs more than that. So as an artist manager, as he's growing, try and grow too. So you should also look out for the kind of person, okay, so this guy, what is he doing? I can't remember when I stopped with Ako Nana. Actually, I was after Ako Nana and Castro's song. When Castro died, then I said, okay, let me pause and also concentrate on George Britton, which I did. But I realized the artists kept calling. They were calling. I said, okay, looks like this is my calling. Let me also get back. And I got in with Keche. We did an amazing years. And after Keche, it's Camido. And you see, all these years, I am better today than I was with Nilante, than I was with Ako Nana and even Keche. Because then, things have changed. I've been able to adjust myself. I'm learning the new things, how the whole music, ecosystem works, what I'm supposed to be, who I'm supposed to call, how do I connect to the world. Before, when I get music, I was thinking Ghana.
Now
I get music
beyond.
now. It actually start from there to Ghana.
Wow. Now, brilliant. And for me, Me, I just have one advice for you. Find someone who is your fan. Someone who is your fan. Find someone who is your fan. Find someone who's listened to your music, believes in your talent. You understand? Believes in your talent. It's a fun. Konko fa artists are manage Kamido. How are we going to manage? All right, thank you so much, George. Thank you so much for being here and having a conversation with us. And you are looking dapper as always. And you're a bit
Thank you.